One of the most frequent mistakes I see in the ad accounts that's stopping brands from profitably scaling is a bad testing structure. But luckily, I found the optimal way. It can be slightly different depending on number of available concepts on a weekly basis, overall budget, and the AOV. But here's the exact process I use to test creatives on accounts spending both $500 a day up to $50K a day. Let's first cover the technical stuff. All of the testing is done with the best performing audience in the ad account. In most cases, it's a broad audience. In maybe 1 out of 10 ad accounts, that's an interest tag. If that's the case, then I do all of my tests with that audience. I always exclude existing buyers because my goal is to reach new customers. So then I exclude both purchase list 180 days audience as well as the sync list of buyers from Klaviyo. It's like double the protection, and I want to exclude all of the buyers because none of my clients want to spend at least $1 to acquire someone who they already acquired. ABO or CBO? This is the most frequent question. I'm doing all of my tests in an ABO campaign where each new test is a new ad set. I want each of my tests to get a fair chance of getting spent. If I test in a CBO, Facebook would probably favor 1 or 2 concepts, either based on click-through rate or average watch time, which is not often connected with the lowest CPA. Also, my goal is not to beat that winning concept and get one ultimate main winning ad. My goal is to get few additional winners that are supporting that one winner, which are still above my target ROAS, and they are acting as a support to those couple of main winners. Just because if I have a target ROAS of 2 and I have an ad that's crushing on 2.5, doesn't mean that I don't want an ad that has 2.2 ROAS still running in my ad account. Another reason why I'm not using CBO is the fact that often in my ad accounts, testing campaign is actually the scaling campaign, no matter if it's labeled as testing. That means I'm scaling each of the individual good performing ad sets or tests. So in my campaign, it could be happening that one ad set is at $100 and the other is $1K just because it's performing great. If I use CBO and I want to scale that testing CBO, I might get unnecessary spend on the tests that are actually not performing, and I don't have control over where Facebook would spend the budget. And I want my budget to always be connected to the performance. Ad set setup. My tests are usually grouped either by angle, let's say anti-aging and anti-acne, or concept, let's say product demonstration video or unboxing, or per creator, let's say girl A or girl B. And each of the tests is in its own ad set. It's important to mention that I'm not testing just one variation of the concept because that's a hit or miss approach, and that way you're forcing Facebook to spend money on that variation no matter how good or bad it is, which makes no sense to me. That's why every concept that I'm testing has 3 to 5 different variations of that same concept. When it's a video, that variation is mostly hook, but sometimes it is a length of the video or a thumbnail. When it's an image, it's either a different layout, different design, or different text on the image itself. This is maximizing my chances of finding a winning creative because I'm giving Facebook choice to pick which out of these variations could be the best. Facebook is usually pretty good at predicting which ad can be the winner and which ad can handle the scale. I say usually because sometimes you would see Facebook spending money on a specific variation that's not getting the results. In those rare cases, I would turn off the ad that's getting most of the spend and let other ads get some spend to see if I can get some winner from those. So we covered the ad set and the ad setting. Here are some other important things to mention. All of the ads in the ad set use the same ad copy, same headline, same landing page, and same call to action. Basically, the only variation is the creative itself. The reason for that is because I'm testing multiple variations of the same creative is because Facebook told us that creative has over 60% impact on the performance of the ad. So it makes more sense for me to test that variable first. I would not know if I'm testing multiple ad copies, multiple thumbnails and creatives. If something works or not, I would not know whether that ad worked because of the one element or because of the other. Timing. I'm launching all of my tests on the same day of the week. In most cases, it is Wednesday, just because we usually find that Monday and Tuesday are the worst performing days for most of the brands, so it doesn't make sense to have a disadvantage when launching tests. I want my ads to get the most chance of succeeding. So I let them run through weekend, which is usually the best performing period. Then on Monday, I do analysis of all of the tests and I determine the next steps. It's maybe cutting some of the ads, it's maybe cutting some of the ad sets, it's maybe increasing the budget on good performing ad sets. As I mentioned, I have some ad accounts where my testing campaign is actually scaling campaign. But you should know that this is not all to the process. It's just a tip of the iceberg. So if you're interested in a video which I'm explaining how I'm coming up with the test or analyzing the results or actually scaling the winners, comment below. If you are on the other side brand that's spending at least $50K a month on Facebook ads and you want me to implement this structure in your ad account so we can actually scale your ad account and your brand, book a call below. Cheers!